Hi guys, so I'm back for another episode of me playing Dragonborn. When I first loaded up here, I just got my directions a little bit mixed up, so I actually went in the wrong direction around the mountain here, but it ended up being okay because I found a new area that was pretty nice. And I was able to explore it and collect some new things. I got a nice set of armor that I had not seen before out of it. The way I saw it here, I couldn't find a way to get past without walking in the water a little bit, which kind of looks a little funny just because the water rendering isn't the best. Right here where it's splashing up against this rock, maybe you can go above, but the rock does extend all the way up to the other part of the rock, so it doesn't look like you can. Just right when you're level with the water, it looks a bit weird. I did die a few times here, and just because I'm pretty bad at watching my health and just regenerating the health when it needs to be. So I lost track of health a few times here and died. But once I actually got into the mine where the actual mission is taking place, there was some pretty aggressive Draugr in there, and they are pretty powerful. They have that big wave that they produce, which basically knocks you over, and I honestly don't know how to avoid it. It's pretty annoying at times. There's a nice little bridge here that extends over to the other side. A few times now I've seen Serena with the electricity covering her, so she's got like a blue cover all over her, and I'm not used to that yet, so I actually hit her a couple times by accident. There's also a bug that you'll see coming up where basically her health was pegged at very low, like 1%, and she was, it showed one enemy on the screen, although there was no enemy there, and she was, kept attacking me. So the way I was able to get past that was I just had to hit her once, and then she sort of snapped out of it, and she kind of lay there for a minute, but then she got up and then she was normal again. So she kind of is a bit buggy. She was acting up. And I even killed her little crab thing by accident once as well. Nordic carved stuff, I believe, is new, since I've never seen it before in the regular part of Skyrim. So I'm assuming that's new for Dragonborn. So I couldn't find a way to go any further, so I'm assuming that that was the end of that cave, but it might not have actually been. I might have missed some of it. I will say, even though Skyrim is only DirectX 9 and it does look a little bit dated in some places, the skies are something that always are kind of impressive to me. I think they're kind of pretty. The amount of different skies that I've seen over the time that I've been playing, there's just a lot of beautiful stuff, and you get to see all kinds of different scenarios, northern lights, and all kinds of interesting stuff. I believe there's some new things to harvest as well. So basically, I believe I did this after. Yeah, I did, because I remember I didn't go into the mine. But basically, once you go into the mine, you meet the guy who believes that I forget the whole story, but basically he found a letter, and he thinks that there was something fishy going on with the mine. That they claimed there was some sort of accident, explosion, but he doesn't buy it. He believes that something else was actually going on. So he gives you the key to the mine to go down there to try to find that stuff, and so that's what I'm doing here. In the entrance, this is the entrance of the mine. They have kind of a little lobby there, which is cute. The wood and stuff, the textures look pretty nice as well. I mean, there are some games like The Witcher 2 is one that comes to mind that are really, really nice looking. And so DirectX 9, there are some DirectX 9 games that are really pretty. So it's just trying to move through this first part of the mine quickly, but also show it a little bit. And I always like to explore new stuff a bit, but not take too long on it. So I like to have, kind of a quick look around at everything that I can see. Here, there's actually wood blocking this doorway. I thought there was some sort of lever or something, or some other way. It looked like that was just blocked off permanently, but then I found that you actually have to just hit the wood and then it will fall. sometimes when the cobwebs are thicker, you have to slice the cobwebs too before you can get past. See, there's where I killed Serena's frostbite spider by accident. I feel pretty proud about that. So now here's some familiar enemies. On the other side we were seeing the past spawns, which were new enemies for Dragonborn, but these Draugr Death Lords are from Skyrim, but usually in Skyrim they were sort of Death Lords were spaced out a bit more. I found in this cave it's mostly Death Lords, which are a little bit harder to deal with, and I keep getting hit by that wave of thing that knocks you over, and like I said, I'm pretty bad at actually monitoring my health and regenerating, and so at one point I was like running right up to a guy and banging him with my sword over and over, but he was just standing there and he wasn't physically hitting me, but my health was going down and I didn't even notice, and then of course I got killed. So the moral of the story here is that I'm actually not good at fighting, not very good at fighting at all. To be honest, I just I don't know like what the good techniques are. I just kind of do whatever I feel like doing. And even with the Vampire Lord, I find that just clawing the guy is actually more effective than those two, the red and the green and blue ball stuff you get. I don't find that's very effective. It's very slow too. I still don't know what each one of them actually does. One of them drains health and gives it to you, I think. Drains health from the enemy and gives it to you, and then the other one is something else. But I find that it's extremely slow to fire it. The one that drains the health, that's the only one that does damage, I think. And it's really hard to fire. It's slow. At least for me it was. So I found you can claw with both hands, so right click and left click, and so I usually just get onto my feet and just claw when I'm in vampire mode. Here was a pretty close call. You can see how my health was going down, just almost as fast as his was, but I decided to just risk it and go for it, and it did work out. Those jugs remind me of Painkiller. Remember when there would be all those pottery jars and jugs, and you'd smash them to get the gold coins. Each level would have a specific amount of gold coins, and I would always break as many of them as I could see, but I wouldn't go searching for them, but there were some levels where I would actually break, make a conscious effort to break as many of the stuff as I could to get gold, and at the end of the level I would always end up I would never collect even close to the amount of gold coins that there actually were. So I was pretty bad at collecting the gold coins as well. And I literally, that as I was coming to that room back there, and I saw that jar, I literally was like thinking that I should smash it to get gold coins out of it. I'm not entirely sure why you can't do first-person view when you're doing a vampire, but doesn't let you do it. It seems like 20 minutes is sort of a sweet spot for these gameplay chunks, so I'm ending this one at 20 minutes or so, 21 minutes I think, and I didn't actually get to whatever the objective is here, but I may continue this particular mission in another part, or I may just do the next part doing something else. I'm not sure yet, but this part's gonna be 20 minutes, so it is again. This is where what I was talking about. See how it shows one enemy on the map, and her health is way down, or at least I think that's what her health, and she's firing her spell at me, and so I actually had to just give her a hit to sort of set her in the right direction. See, so then she falls down onto her knee, and when she gets back up, she's back to behaving normally again. There's some vines and stuff growing on the walls, which is kind of nice. I think that's pretty. I remember, I haven't seen one of those for a while, those setups where the gems are in place and you have to pull them off. I had a ton of gems stored up, like 23 of each kind, and I sold off a bunch of them recently just for extra money, and also I was lightening myself up a bit. I don't know if the gems actually pay anything or not. I did have, recently I've been just selling off stuff, the pelts and stuff I talked about last episode, I think. I got that mod that increases the value of the pelts, and just necklaces and stuff that you find all around. Usually I just sort of forget to sell that stuff, so I just hang on to it. But I've been trying to sort of sell stuff whenever I can, and I've usually I end up just using all the money of whatever vendor I'm dealing with, so then I have to just move to the next vendor. So this is where basically I was kind of being careless with my health again, and I ended up dying a couple times. And then I just end it pretty soon here. And so I might pick up where this left off for the next one, or I might not record the rest of this and then do the next video. Will just be another mission, like the next mission that I do. So I don't know yet, but you'll see. I figured it would be pretty lame to end a part mid-mission, so I decided to finish it. Dealing with these Draugr Deathlords turned out to be not too bad once I got the hang of it. This piece will be a little over 20 minutes, but I figure it's best to have one mission per episode, or if they're short missions, multiple ones, but at least one mission per segment. Definitely gotta switch to a better headpiece, even if it's not enchanted right away. I have that that new stuff I found at the beginning of this episode, which looks kind of neat. I also have a cultist mask, and I have a bunch of those other masks that I found around various places, and all of those look pretty cool. I also have the shrouded hood with the mask, which kind of looks neat. I have all kinds of stuff for the head. I definitely can't be wearing this silly circlet thing anymore. Had a senior moment here while I took ages to find a torch to see if there was a handle nearby to open the door, but it turns out it was just over where that Draugr was on the other side of this bridge. There's another one of those soul gem things. I like this here, the bridge with the covering over it, the bars, and some stuff growing over it. That's kind of neat. I like a lot of atmosphere stuff. For some reason, when I first arrived in Solstheim, or whatever it's called, when I went to pick my first lock, it said you have no lockpicks. Yes, it says 3 here. And I definitely had at least 70 when I was in Skyrim, so it must have reset my lockpick when I moved to the new location. For some reason, I'm not sure why. I would think that they would carry over. Or maybe I did some stupid thing in Skyrim that I didn't know about, and I lost them all. But either way, I only have 3 lockpicks now. So here, you find the body here, and you get the journal and the sword, and you just have to swing it. You do a heavy swing and one of the arrow keys to make the swing sideways, and it will actually kind of propel you sideways as well when you're doing the sideways swings. But when the red glowing lines show up, you just do a heavy swing in the vertical or horizontal according to the line. Now these things here, I was for whatever reason thinking I should do a whirlwind sprint through here, but that's not necessary at all because they're really slow. You just have to do a regular sprint, it's fine. I wasn't even careful. I was trying to hit Zed and I was like missing it, being sloppy again. But you can see you can just walk right through them and they only give a little bit of damage, so it's not even a big deal. I'm pretty bad at spotting the levers to open doors, as you can see. So you get this big room here and there's a bunch of guys, and then you make like a U-turn, and then there's another room here. You find this book, which is the black book, and when you hold it up like this, it will transport you into another realm or something, and then there's a side mission you can do here, which I'll just give you this sneak peek sort of thing, a quick look at this, but we'll be saving this for another. So this is another side mission that you can sort of go on. Otherwise you just go up these stairs, where the same spot you find the black book, you go up the stairs. It's a pretty straightforward route out once you're up there. From here on, there's really not much left to this particular mission. You just go and give the book back to the guy from the mine, and he will, if you want, he can tell you a story about his family. You can see the spot I came out here is actually that spot where I accidentally went at the beginning of the mission. And then you just go into his house, which we marked on your map when you get out, and talk to him. Alright, so that's probably going to wrap it up for this segment or clip, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoy it because it's just fun to do. Not sure what order I'm going to do the missions. Usually for main version of Skyrim, I just don't do it in any order. I just wander around and watch whatever missions come up. So I guess what I'll be doing is whenever I find one of the main missions, I will see about recording it and doing a commentary like this, because it's true that I find gameplay is kind of boring if there's no commentary track on top of it. So I did have a couple of gameplay tracks that I uploaded before with no commentary, but probably from now on I will be doing commentary on them. So, as for what games, well, Skyrim seems to lend itself well to this sort of thing. But any game you can do, of course, there's lots of people on YouTube doing it. So, you know, whatever games I feel like doing, I might do. I can't say for sure what games will be coming up. If you have a particular game that you want to see, not that I'm awesome at playing games or anything, but if you want to see me play a particular game, just go ahead and say that in the comment, and I'll see about it doing it. So your dialogue ends here pretty much, and then that's it for him. He'll give you 750, not dollars, but whatever, 750 gold coins, I guess.